Hi there guys. For this video I'll be talking about perfectionism. I'll be talking about deluded INFJ, or just generally unhealthy people who think that they're perfect and who think that they're amazing and who have superiority complexes. The type of people who think, like everything about them's perfect and they're so much better than everyone else, and their opinion's always right, and everyone should praise them because they're the smartest people in the world, they're the best people in the world, and everything about them's good, and nothing about them's bad. And basically this is such a bad mentality to have, and there are so many people who have this, INFJs included, and it's just a really unhealthy mentality. I'll be talking about why it's bad, and I'll also be talking about how people can get this mindset. It's also related to superiority complexes and just basically ego, basically. So, I'll explain it more in this video, but, it's a common thing which a lot of people have. Not just INFJs, but I have met a lot of INFJs who are like this. But I mean, it's just generally something for anyone and everyone to keep in mind. Basically, on the forums, wherever you go, whether it's Myers-Briggs, personality forums, or just, any old forum, or just anywhere in real life, on TV, everywhere, you see people who have this, I'm amazing, I'm perfect, I've been born amazing, and I'm so much better than everyone else, and I can step on people, and I can bend people to what I want to do, and all these things, and it's utterly crap. I mean, I don't understand why people have that mentality. I mean, yes, it's good to kind of have self-belief and to believe in yourself and to be confident, but it gets to an extent where it's just like, I'm amazing, I'm a god, everyone should praise me, everyone should bow down to me, and, I'm the saviour of the world, and it was my God-given duty to save everyone in the world. Be realistic, for goodness sake. I mean, like, how have you got, I mean, it's good that you're positive and you're seeing all the good in everything. I mean, some people might, think that they're gods and even put that towards a negative sense and be like, oh, I want to be the next Hitler or some kind of crap like that, I mean, if you're putting it towards a good focus and a positive thing, that's good, but at the same time, you need to be realistic. And there are so many, I'll give you the perspective. Anyone can have this. Anyone can be a bad person. Anyone can be an asshole. But this is what I don't understand. So many people every day stereotype people all the time. They label people, they judge people, and they judge a book by its cover. Now you can relate this to real life, and it's not just online, but it's in real life as well. And these are the type of people who have kind of no perspective of what real life is. And they're always in their head, and they live in their head, and they live in a bubble, and they live in a dream. Now, because of this, and because they're living in a dream, they're not realistic to grounding and, coming in and out of how they think. What's in here is different from what's around you. Alright? They're completely separate things, completely separate worlds. And if you don't know how to come in and out of your head, learn to come in and out of your head. I mean, you can say this for Myers-Briggs, you can say this for everyday life. The reason why I'm annoyed, I mean, yes, this is a common thing and it needs to be addressed, because, if you just don't address a problem, ignoring a problem doesn't get rid of the problem, but if you kind of put a focus towards a problem and say, this is a problem, it needs to be looked at, people will, learn about it, try and understand it, and kind of like, help themselves. But I mean, if you just if there's like an issue or a problem, whether it's yourself, if you don't say anything to anyone, there is no problem. But if you highlight this as a problem, people will do something about it. But if you just ignore all your problems, whether they're big problems, small problems, a problem's not going to go away just because you've ignored it, is basically what I'm trying to say. But you get people relating to what I'm saying. You get many INFJs who are utterly deluded. Now, why is this? Now, okay, I'll give you an example. I'll give you 3 examples, in fact, not just one, of kind of delusions within INFJs. I mean, like, because we're rare, people think, oh, there must be a reason why they're rare. Okay, they're protectors, they want good for humanity, they're guardians, they see right and wrong, they see the good and bad in everything, they're counselors, they're advisors, there's not a lot of them, and because of all these things, people build up an image. They put the INFJ on a pedestal. Now, I know I've spoken about this many times in other videos, but if you don't address a problem, the problem's always going to be there until it's been highlighted, which is why I'm highlighting it now. But I mean, you get some INFJs who are not balanced and not healthy, and they're like, I'm the 1%, I'm really rare, and therefore I'm amazing and I'm so much better than everyone else because I'm a rarity, and because of these things, you know, I believe I'm superior to people, I believe that I'm here for a reason. And some people who are really religious go, oh, it was God's given me this ability, and because of that I need to use it for good, and I need to be a leader, and, you know, because I'm so much better and I have these gifts and I'm psychic and I'm amazing. Be realistic. Don't be a child. This is what I don't understand. I mean, yes, okay, it's good that you're being positive. It's good that you're focusing on how you think and how you function. But you're turning it into like some kind of dream. You're turning it into like an obsession, and you're not being realistic. And you get many people who are like, oh, we all need to form together, and by working together we can save the world. Yes, that is a good idea, and I'm not discounting that as a bad idea, but you need to be realistic. I mean, like, you know, it's good to be, if you're just idealistic and always see the positives and are very kind of like, we'll do this, we'll do that, and we'll bring all these ideas and concepts to life. If you don't see the real side of things, if you don't kind of take a step back and go, is this right, is this wrong, you're just a dreamer, you're just an idealist, and you're just someone who has his head in the clouds. And because these people have their heads in the cloud all the time, and a lot of the time because they can't detach themselves, they think everything's good, everything's amazing, and in many cases, you know, they're completely deluded to what's real. You know, it's just ridiculous. I'll explain why this is bad. Why is this bad? Well, these people, the ones who think that they're perfect, who think INFJ are perfect, who think that nothing's wrong with INFJ, and who also think, you know, they're better than everyone else. These people who have this mentality, whether they're INFJ or just anyone, you know, and I'm not saying that in a way where I think INFJ are better, but I mean, they could be any type. This could be anyone, you know. It's just an unhealthy mentality to have, you know. But it's bad because they think, oh, you know, an example of this, INFJs can't be bad. There's no such thing as a bad INFJ, and the reason being is because INFJs always strive for good, they always strive for justice, and there's no such thing as a bad INFJ. Hitler, Mugabe, Osama bin Laden, all these bad INFJs they couldn't have been INFJ, because, I mean, think about it, there's no such thing as a bad INFJ. Wake up! It doesn't make sense in any way. It doesn't make sense in a logical way or an abstract way, and I've said this in another video, so I'm not going to overdo that so much, but be realistic. How does that make sense in any way of it? It doesn't make sense. And it's just like they have this mentality that everything about me is good and I have no flaws whatsoever, and because I have no flaws I can't be stopped and I'm always going to be doing good. It's like, it's ridiculous. It's like you need like a slap on the face, like a slap of justice, a slap to wake you up, because you're living in a dream world. And if you're not realistic, then, you know, you get a lot of people who have this mentality and they're like, I'm so much better than everyone else and I'm so perfect and I have depression, but, you know, I can't, you know, because I'm so much better than everyone else, I'm not going to ask people for help because I can just help myself. I mean, like, the whole reason you're depressed is because you've got this mentality to the extent you're isolating yourself in a way that you think that you're a king. I mean, like, no man's an island, and if you're just kind of like building up this image in your head that you're better than everyone else, everyone's going to think you're an utter idiot, because you are being an idiot. Why are you being an idiot? Oh, because you're isolating yourself, and you're just, you know, deluding yourself completely. I mean, yes, it's good to be positive, it's good to think, it's good to build yourself up, it's good to be confident, and it's good to, you know, it's good to kind of believe in yourself, but don't make yourself a god in your head. Don't make yourself perfect, because you're not perfect. No one's perfect. This is what I don't understand. So many people say that the INFJ is perfect. It's not perfect. A really good example of this was the other day on the forum. Someone said, there's no such thing as a bad INFJ, and anyone who is bad can't possibly be an INFJ, because there's no such thing as a bad INFJ. Straight away, one of the INFJs I know very well said, "That's complete crap." And then straight away his answer after that was, "The very fact you said that just proves that you aren't an INFJ, because no INFJ would be bad and no INFJ would be negative." Again, how stupid are you? I mean, like, I'm not saying you're a stupid person, but I'm saying that's such a stupid mentality. You're not being realistic at all. I mean, think about it like this. It's like saying, oh, all people with brown eyes are good people. Whatever happens, if they have brown eyes, they're obviously a good person and there can't be anything bad with them. But if someone has blue eyes, then there's a chance that, you know, they're going to be bad because they have blue eyes. It's just like that. It doesn't make sense. You can't just say that. It's like making a stereotype, and it is a stereotype, and it's a label, because people label the INFJ, and deluded people who are INFJ, or deluded mistypes who think they're INFJ, or just people judging the INFJ, think that we're perfect, and we're not perfect. We're human beings, and human beings are human beings, whatever type they are, however they function, however they process. We're human beings. And even you, someone watching right now who thinks that they're perfect and thinks that they're better than anyone else, has flaws. You're not perfect. You might be better and more superior than people in some ways, but those people are going to be better and more superior than you in other ways. You're not the best at every single thing in the world, and if you think you are, you need a slap in the face because you're being an idiot. It's ridiculous. You know, and it's just like, you need to be realistic. It's like people living in this dream world, and people like saying, oh, you know, everything about it's good. Nothing is completely 100% good. Nothing completely is 100% bad, but you need to be aware of the differences. That's why there's yin and yang. That's why there's dualities. That's why there's cause and effect. There's opposites of everything. And if you're always focusing on the good, and if you're always focusing on the positives, and you're not realistic to the flaws, the problems, and things that could go wrong, you're a dreamer. But in the sense that you're not realistic, you're not grounded, and you can't make the judgment that there is good and bad in everything. You know, it's just a really bad mentality to have. The thing is, linked to what I'm saying, the thing is, it relates a lot to superiority complexes, because these people think that people should be stepped on, weak people are idiots, all these things. I mean, to an extent, I have a slight, even myself, I have a slight, you know, superiority complex. But I mean, I could say that. I can easily say that, because I know it's part of my being, it's part of who I am. But it's the people who can't say that, who are like, no, I don't have that. It's not like I have a problem, because I'm perfect and good in every single way. I can't have any flaws. I can't have any problems. I can't get colds. I can't get hurt. I can't bleed. I can't, you know, all these things, because I'm perfect in every way. Wake up. Now, I know I've said that a lot of times, but I'm saying wake up because you're living in a dream world, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, going back to superiority complexes, if you think you're perfect and you think the INFJ is perfect, it's not. You're not perfect. And that's good. It's good to be aware that you're not perfect. And, you know, the reason why no one's perfect is because we all make mistakes, whether you like it or not. We all have flaws, whether you like it or not. We all bleed. We all, you know, we all get damaged. We all get hurt when we're young, you know. We learn from our mistakes. We grow. We get better. We help people. But if you're like, you know, got the mentality that you're a god, or you got the mentality that nothing can stop you, to the extent that you're willing to push people aside, step on people, and just be a complete idiot, ask yourself, are you happy with yourself? Are you happy with yourself? Because the very fact that you're having this mentality and you're doing all these things is a negative thing. Because unconsciously, you know, I don't connect with people. Now, this is exactly why, because so many INFJs don't connect with people at all. So they build up in their head, oh, you know, I have to be self-sufficient, I have to be hardened, and I have to make myself good in every aspect. That's a good thing to do, but I mean, don't let it go to your head. If you don't speak to people, you can't understand the situation, and you can't understand the fact that maybe you're going overboard, maybe you're thinking too much, maybe you don't know what the current situation of what you're trying to do is, because you can't detach yourself. you know. If you learn, I mean, like, this is what I don't understand. Like, so many INFJs want the INFJ to be separate to other types. They think it's better than other types. We're not better than other types. We're exactly the same as other types. We might be rare. We could be the 99%, but we're the 1%. We're the 1 to 3%. Okay? A lot of people think it's only 1%, it's 1 to 3%. But I mean, we could be the 99%, but it doesn't matter. What you do, connecting with people, helping people, interacting with people, that's what we do best. But if you're just going to shut yourself away from people and say, I'm amazing, I'm the best, I don't need anyone, that's bad. And in so many ways that's bad, I can't even explain. I mean, there's so many articles on why that's bad, so I'm not going to say that because it'll take up airtime. But you know, it's bad, and it's something that you need to look about, and it's something you need to focus on to improve. I mean, a lot of INFJs want to separate themselves from society because they think that they're amazing, they think that they have gifts, they think that they are people of God to the extent that, you know, I'm going to be a savior, I'm going to be a saint, I'm going to be, you know, a ruler, a leader. It's good that you have that mentality, but don't let it go to your head, and don't become deluded by your own thoughts. Be realistic. And again, I know it sounds critical, I know it sounds judgmental, but you can agree with me or don't agree with me. I'm just giving you a grounded perspective of the reality of what you're doing. Whether you like it or not, and whether you accept it or not, is up to you. But you know, if you're not aware of what you're doing, and if you know, I'm giving you the perspective of what you're doing, if you're not even aware that you did any of that stuff, that's because you're in here too much, and not learning to come in and out. We're not separate to society. And there are loads of people who want to make the INFJ separate to society. We're part of society, and you need to learn that there are so many different types of people, and that's a good thing. We all learn from each other, and we're not better than everyone else. And the very fact that you can't interact with people means that you're only going to be geared to your own way of thinking. And that in itself is bad, because so many people can teach you about other things, good, bad, about life. But if you don't talk to people, and you don't interact with people, and you don't learn from other people, you're only going to know what you're going to know in here. You're only going to know your own perspective, and that's bad because it's selfish. Now, thank you guys for watching. Now, a lot of people who have this mentality are really good people inside. They have really good ideas. You know, they want what's best for people. And, you know, they always strive for good and for justice, which are good things to have. But the thing is, guys, like I've said many times, you need to be aware of what your ideal is like, and what it would be like if you brought it into the real world. And it's also the same as kind of saying, you know, okay, in my head I'm perfect, but actually in real life, I might have all these abilities, I might be really good at doing these things, I might be better than other people in these ways. But I mean, you know, you've got to put it into perspective. You learn from the people around you. You connect with the people around you. You know, some people will be better at some things than you, and you'll be better than some people in other ways, and that's good, because you're not perfect. Because when you put yourself in real life, when you're walking through the street, whether you're walking down the road of your house, whether you're walking through a village, whether you're walking through a city, or, you know, whether you're walking in a place where there's not a lot of people, you need to understand that when you're there with 100 other people surrounding you, you are one in many, to the extent that, you know, everyone's different, everyone is good at different things, and no person is the best person. You're not the best person because people who have that mentality that they're perfect and they're the best person, those people are going to think they're the best person. There's no such thing as a best person, because that doesn't exist. And, you know, if one person has this mentality, I'm perfect, I'm the best person in the world, if someone else had that mentality, I'm perfect, I'm the best person in the world, you're going to have two people who think that they're the best person in the world. And there's not actually going to be a best person in the world, because they both think that they're the ones that should be the best person. Do you know what I mean? That's basically how absurd the mentality of thinking you're perfect, thinking you're superior, and thinking that you're the best is. If you put it into context and you have 100 people who have this mentality, everyone's the same. You're not unique, you're not special, you're not amazing, you're not rare, you know. You're a human being, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And all human beings aren't perfect. All human beings have flaws, all human beings have limitations. Okay? Now, stop stereotyping types, stop putting types into a box, be realistic, be aware, and learn to come in and out of your head. And that's all you need. Basically, just find balance and find equilibrium, whether it's in here, it's in your life, or it's anything. As long as you find balance and as long as you see the good and the bad and, you know, learn to be realistic, that's all you need. Anyway, that's enough from me. That's the Barracuda 57, over and out.